All right, let's do this. We officially in the building. The music you hear playing is actually from the deck itself. We just running straight from the deck, so let me turn that down moderately. Um, yeah. Welcome to the stream. We just gonna be really recording footage for the Emulator Emissary channel that I have. Second channel on YouTube. Don't know if I'm gonna make a Twitch and everything for it yet, but definitely got the YouTube channel up. But let me slide this over here so I can put this on the screen. We got the deck. Let me swap that over. The deck is here. We actually got it. D-brand skin on. Don't got a terabyte drive in there right now, but we got about 800 gigabytes on this thing in total right now. Close to a terabyte, but not close enough. But main reason for this is we're going to be looking at more or less what this is capable of from old to the new, which is pretty awesome in all accounts. So we got the MU deck installed. They moved it back to Q3. Damn. It's all right. It's coming. It's coming. Have patience. I forgot about it. I just stopped worrying about it. I forgot about it entirely. And lo and behold, that bad boy was here. It was here. It was here before I knew it. So, best part about this is that we beta testing basically everything for y'all. So y'all, that's going to be in Q3 and beyond. Oh, you said I fell silent? Hold up. It looked like I got sound on this side. So check, restart, refresh the stream. Refresh it and see. Make sure I'm on, I'm on the correct one. I got the timestamp. I haven't dropped any frames. You should be able to hear me now. Refresh the stream and see if that works. Give it a refresh. I'm testing it right now to make sure I'm not losing any sound. Where's my Twitch? Come here, bitch. Big test, test 1 2. Big test, test 1 2. Yeah, sounds coming through clear. Test 1 2. Yeah, sounds coming through clear. Test 1 2. Yeah, sounds coming. Yeah, loud and clear. It's doubling up and everything in the back. Give it a refresh. Give it a refresh. Oh, I thought I paused the stream and I didn't. Oh, I thought I paused the stream and I didn't. Here we go. All right. Sound should be good. I just tested it. Sound should be good. All right, sound is sounding very good. Sound is sounding very good. Okay, so back to the topic at hand. MU deck has been installed. I will throw a few links in here for parity's sake. Even though I'm on my computer, I got the Steam Deck routed through my Elgato at the moment. So we got a bunch of stuff going on, a bunch of cool things going on. But let me get the MU deck link. Woo! We're going to have Ocarina of Time PC also going on later tonight, but that's going to be on the Emulator Emissary channel. So MU Deck got a website. They got their own website for instructions on how to get that set up. It's really awesome. Boom. Link right there. MU Deck is extremely lit and, in my personal opinion, vital for the quick setup of everything that you need to run. So we're in desktop mode, as you see here. I got it mirrored from the deck screen, so you can actually see it. How this is the same resolution, 1280 by 800 on the deck. I just got it cloned, so the screen is cloned, coming straight from the deck. Got a USB-C hub on it. It's not charging at the moment, so it is discharging, probably around 70% now at this point. Oh, 80, better than I thought. See, we got some games installed. Got Elden installed, Metal Gear Rising. Let's open up Steam so we can take a look at everything. I went and grabbed, as you see, all the consoles over here on the left side. EmuDeck assist with setting up all of these. It'll ask you what you want to set up. When you drop your games in, you're going to have this folder here. So you got your deck. This is basically like your home folder. And then you got your emulation. And then this is going to be your home base for the EmuDeck for all of your files. So you got your saves, tools, BIOS, everything that you need in there. But your ROMs, this is where it get busy. And then here you just drop your ROM files into the folders. So you see I got some CDI in here mixed with some CHDs. You want CHDs because they're smaller file sizes and they load a little bit faster. Because you see Crazy Taxi is 700 megabytes. I can convert that to CHD and it'll probably be a couple hundred. Probably chop a smooth 300-400 off top. Save the space. Never a bad thing. All emulators that are available for all systems got their own specific folders up to PS3 and Switch, obviously. I do have games I bought backed up, NSPs. I do have Breath of the Wild as well on Switch and Wii U, but instead of putting Breath of the Wild Switch on here, I got the Wii U version of Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild on here, which are ripped from physical copies. Will not tell you how to get ROMs. We don't do that here. Even though sometimes it's kind of like fuck Nintendo, but we still pay for the game so we can at least show them off. Gen World does not condone piracy, but I understand it. But I understand it. As you see, we got ROMs everywhere. GameCube, we got ROMs. We got ROMs. So we got ROMs everywhere. But that's neither here nor there. Taking a look at all of these, this is desktop mode. So you set up everything in desktop mode so you can set your pictures up. So as you see, certain games you can get animated pictures, you can customize all of this. It's full Steam. It's a full PC situation we got here. So we're literally looking at clearly just the gaming side of this. But this is a bigger thing that we're looking at here, that this is a full computer. You're looking at Linux, which I believe is Arch Linux, the repo that's built on Steam OS. But we have a full functioning computer here that you can do more than just gaming on. There's folks doing video editing on here. I could actually stream OBS from desktop mode directly out to this channel right now from the deck itself. So I don't even need to be using my actual computer, my main PC build, which is running Windows 10. I can use this Linux platform, use Proton and run Windows apps through it and see if it runs smooth. Speaking of Proton, that's the next thing. We're going to swap back over to gaming mode. So you just click on it, boom. We're going to shut everything down. So we're going to swap right back over to the deck alongside with the USB hub. Just a little cheap mouse. Nothing serious, nothing special. But we got mouse and keyboard activity going on. So this is where the main magic happens. You do all of the setup in desktop mode so you can access everything in game mode. This is the key. This is the bread and butter. So you come in here, boom, we got everything ready to go. And we're going to start from the old and work to the new. Not in the sense of release date, but more or less PC itself. So start one of my favorite games all the time. No One Lives Forever. PC. There was a port for PS2. Wasn't bad, but it was definitely a port. I remember playing it on PS2 was like, this is cool, it's alright. But playing it on PC, you get a whole different sense of this game is a masterpiece. So some PC games come with launchers. Luckily, with this specific game, it is currently in rights limbo, so no one owns it, but multiple people own it. But we getting it for free. There exists No One Lives Forever Revival. I'm gonna go ahead and toss a link in there for that because it deserves it. Boom. Let's go back here. So this is No Revival. You can actually download the entire series for free. No One Lives Forever 1, 2, and Contract Jack. You get all three of them for the free. No problems there. So one problem with, I believe, 2 as well. Music itself doesn't play correctly. But as you see in here, we got mods already set to load up. This is a modernizer. Just a single mod, nothing serious, nothing crazy. So let's go ahead and back out of here. We're going to hit cancel on all this. And we're just going to launch. And what this is going to do is launch our game. So like I said, this is PC. This is running through Proton. So this is a Windows application being ran through Steam's compatibility layer for Proton. I'm using GE Proton 7.17, I believe it's at. I think it's 7.17. I'll show it specifically after this. But as you see, there was no issues getting it started to run. We in game already. We are literally in here. Alongside with the trackpad, which counts as like a mouse, but it has like really cool physics with it. No to the first part and no to the second part, sir. Let me see, I think there's no sound coming through. My headphone's connected to the deck itself. Hold on. Let's pop this over here.
Excuse me. I have a very fine monkey for you. Only $20 American. Sorry, I don't want a monkey.
This is what's cool. This
What
is
do
cool
you mean?
about the deck. So we got
I
the
don't
touchpad,
want a monkey. Why not? Because
which
This
turns
is
this
hard rain
into
is falling,
something.
everyone
I
down.
can hold the deck. We can play it. We see we got it on screen.
Come on.
Pop. So this is a game meant for mouse and keyboard. Like literally full blown mouse and keyboard, not anything dealing with a controller on PC. Now it has controller inputs. You can use a controller, but the controller physics on this game are really wonky and, in my opinion, not good. That works better than it ever has with a controller because it's mimicking a keyboard. So let's pause the game. We're gonna go over here, and this, in my opinion, is where the deck really just becomes like an insane device. So you got your layouts. With your control layouts is literally allowing me, I'm going to use my actual mouse and keyboard to show this. Let's go back. I'll explain the back grips and what I got those set up as in a second. But literally the deck controls, as you see, are all mimicking keyboards. So you literally got to bind it as a keyboard thing. No extra software required. It's built in. You literally have layouts in which you can select through here. They already got pre-built joints for Cemu, which is the Wii U emulator, Citra, 3DS emulator. And if you want to play old PC games with the controls, you can use the keyboard with the mouse because you got that touchpad. So you got the right joystick and the touchpad on your right hand. Instantly, you get able to move it and use that as a touchpad, but it's smooth for aiming. Probably some of the smoothest. Like, you can fine tune the sensitivity granularly, and it gets crazy. So speaking of fine tuning, let's move this around into the camera. You see we got these 4 back buttons on here. So this is R4, R5, L4, and L5 right here on the back buttons. Kind of hard to press. So as you see, I got a lot of keyboard strings set up here. Let me show you what I got these set up for. It's actually pretty funny, but for this game, it's actually really cool. So we're gonna go back in the game. So I got it set so I can enter cheat code. I did that because I left my finger on the button. Oh, touching the screen. That's what. Put that behind it. It was touching the screen like you. Oh yeah. So if you touch the screen, because the touch screen acts as clicking, so that happens. But yeah, since it's a PC game, you just gotta know you got some things going on. But the controls are set up literally like a regular first-person shooter.
Who is there?
But with other refinements.
Who is there?
Gave it to him. Yeah, literally got touchpad, extremely smooth. They're able to just slide it around like a mouse, but the sensitivity is just ruin his day. And for the sake of testing, no love. And then we do that. That's T, MP, Santa. T is to talk. MP is for, it was really, I think, like for multiplayer, so you can chat, because this game has a big multiplayer component with it. You know, a death match, capture the flag, all that shit. And the simple fact that we got this PC technically exclusive. Like I said,
What
there was
sort
a
of
PC
getaway
port.
did you...
It's not this. The PS2 port is not like this. Like it's a lot more lightweight.
Any
Cut
sign of her
down.
yet?
Yeah, I know it hurts. Laid him down. And one of my favorite things too with the touchpad is you literally can take it and just, let me get it in the camera. It got like a little slide to it, so you can just throw it and catch it. You can like throw the mouse and catch it a little bit. Ever so slightly. Yeah, you can flick it a little bit, throw it and catch it, and get fine tuned with your aiming. And yeah, this is just old PC game. We ain't gonna go too much deeper into that because I can sit here and play No One Lives Forever 1 all day. That's my favorite first-person shooter ever created, and I got that on my deck. That's just on there. So we got that locked in perfectly. And then if I want to, I can actually hook up a mouse and keyboard and play that mouse and keyboard perfectly. Like literally rock it like it's no problem. Fully hook it up anywhere, have a mouse and keyboard, play PC games on here like it ain't nothing. We're going to stay in the realm of PC games for a minute. We're going to go Command and Conquer Renegade, which is just a good-ass game. Hard game, but good. And the setup for this is interesting. Very interesting. Turn this down just a little bit so I can be heard. Setup for this is very interesting. I bought the Command and Conquer collection on Origin. So that's from EA. I bought it from them a few years ago. It's $20. Had all the Command and Conquer games up to Command and Conquer 4, the whole series. I got the Pantheon, the whole thing. Well, they started having problems with the Origin launcher where it would stop launching all of the games. We were like, why aren't you launching the games? I want to play Renegade. This is my shit. I want to run Renegade. So I'm thinking to myself last night, okay, hold on, I got the deck, right? So I'm like, I'm tired of this game not launching. It's pissing me off. I was hoping they were going to drop a fix. Something's going to fix it. I want to play Renegade. So I hopped on the good interwebs, looked up to see, well, okay, I bought the game. It's mine. I own it. I own this physical too. I got a physical copy laying around somewhere with the CD key. So I own it. I bought this game multiple times. I own it. So I went ahead and looked up the CD crack, the no CD crack, so I can drag it into the game and take it offline. So I'm like, maybe that'll make it launch at least. It wouldn't launch. You would double click on the executable file, nothing would happen. It wouldn't launch. Lo and behold, drop the no CD crack in there. Boom, game launches. I'm like, yeah, we back. Let's go. I got Renegade back. We back in. Man, all I did was take the install directory of Renegade, dragged it onto the deck, made sure that the executable file was attached to Proton, GE Proton. I didn't have to do nothing else. It just worked. Out the gate, it worked at a high frame rate. Like, everything about this right now is so crazy because it shouldn't work. But yet, here it is, working. So what we're going to do, hold on, where's my mouse at? I know it doesn't like that. It wants me to use the controller. Okay. Because I can use the mouse and the keyboard as well, but I'm going to use the actual controller on it. And this is the thing too. Same thing like No One Lives Forever just a few moments ago. Same thing we were just talking about. Keyboard and mouse. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's what we love. It's what we adore. And that's why this right here is a master class, because all of our old games that may have had issues on Windows aren't having the same issues on Linux. Certain things just aren't happening on Linux. Proton is fixing issues that certain games may have had for years upon years. It's fixing issues that we may have had portably. So looking at that, we know we got that. This game ain't got no cheats. We don't need cheats. It's Command and Conquer. Command and Conquer, also known as we came to fuck. That's what this shit means. So, just like the other one, we got full third person. I'm probably going to get annihilated. Yep, he hit me with that poison. Ooh, I'm dead already. I'm in a place with low health too, so it ain't working for me. It ain't working for me. But this game right here is one of them games that's just like, folks go like, I remember playing that. It was cool back then. It's better now, bitch. The game is better now than it's ever been. Watch them peek around the corner. Good, hit him in the head. Oh, she's shooting at me. Let me get that health. Okay, got the health. Ooh, he hit me in the lips. Took him. Woo! Gotta listen for it. Ooh, he tearing me up. We got a weapon. Just reload on him. Do I got a grenade launcher? I need a grenade launcher. Got him. Okay. We finally made it. All right. So what I'm going to do now, because I'm a savage, is actually save it, because I've been trying to beat that boy for a minute. We're going to create a new slot. We're going to say ball. We're gonna call that shit ball. So we got a new save file in there, and we're just gonna quit it because we don't need to see nothing else. That was all. That was it. That was all we need to show right there. And then before we lead the game, let's just listen to the main menu music. That's your vibe. 2002, bro. PC gaming works very well on this bitch. And I think that's one thing that really got us jacked up is the disbelief. I'm in disbelief that this is working. Like, this is crazy to me. Let's hop over. Let's keep it PC. Streets of Rage remake, made by Bomber Games. I don't remember the year it came out, but I feel like it's in between 2008 to 2010, 2-year frame in that time frame. The original version came out then, right? I also put together all this art for the PC games. I had to put all the art together for all those. So I put them together myself and, yeah, make that package look professional. Streets of Rage remake is only technically on PC. The full version was only on PC. They recently just did a port to the Vita, and it's good. The Vita port is great. Vita port is amazing. But about the PC port is that we got full widescreen, which, like I said, this is set to mimic the actual on-screen version of the deck itself. So we got deck resolution, 1280 by 800. Streets of Rage remake is Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3 in one big ass game. Multiple paths you can literally go through. If you know what you're doing, you literally can move through all 3 games in one playthrough. All 3 games and weave a path between all 3 stages. All stages within 3 games. It's big as fuck, like it's huge. And it's amazing. Now it's portable. Like I said, I just had to install file directory, dragged it over to the deck using I got a little flash drive that I'm dragging everything over with. You drag everything over to the deck. You throw it in. I'm gonna show you how to do it too after this, because after this PC version, you're gonna get into emulation. But adding it to Steam as a non-Steam game, making sure that it's under that Proton compatibility layer. Bow. It's open. Like, you literally can run everything. It's running in here, as you can see. We just got it running. Stop acting like you don't know who it is. Stop acting like you don't know who it is. You know it's Eddie at all times. It's always Eddie. It's never not Eddie. It's always going to be Eddie. Always going to be Eddie. So we're going to start in Streets of Rage 2, which puts us in Go Straight. Always. I deserve that. Damn, I should have just waited. That's for a second. Not me. Nothing to me. Enough of that. Because Streets of Rage, another one. I can sit and play Streets all day. But we got Streets of Rage Remake working fully on the deck. That's the moral of that story. Streets of Rage Remake is working fully on the deck. I'll show one thing in emulation right quick because this is a little bit of flex. This took a little setup, but this is a little flex. This is light flex. We got 3DS emulation, Citra. Let me see if this launches. I did some changes. Yes, it does. So, you hear that sound effect. There's this little mod called Project Restoration. I'm going to drop a link to this as well. Just got the setup, everything you need for it. So if you play modded, well, not really modded, because even though this is a mod, this ain't a mod. To me personally, this is essential. When it comes to Zelda, this is essential. Just doing that just because it's that's the Elgato, not the deck itself. I hate when Elgato do that shit. So, just for clarity's sake, we don't play about that. My mama wrote my name on that for me. These are mine. No joke. They right here with me. They stay with me, right? Got them on the 3DS as well. Owned them. Ripped them. These are my rips. We can change the layout of the screens, full screen. Remember earlier what I did with the back things and No One Lives Forever to have cheats? This has a different setup here to where I can go L4, full screen. Get rid of the bars on the top and the bottom. This button right here at the top, R4, switches between both screens on the 3DS, so we can just pop. I can just be playing like this. You don't even see my hand moving. I'm just moving between two screens. We can change the layout with R5. No, I think it's, yeah, we can change the layout there so I can actually have both screens show if I want. But the reason why I'm showing this specifically is because this is a mod called Project Restoration, with that link is there for Majora's Mask 3D specifically to make it more in line with this sexy motherfucker right here. The 3DS version is not bad, but it ain't this sexy motherfucker right here. It got some quality of life changes that we do like, such as gyro aiming, such as how it looks, the graphics, amazing. Looks really good, especially up-res with emulation. You know what to do. But when you have changes to certain mechanics like the Zora swimming mechanics, how the Deku Link hops across water is nerfed, the magic bubble from the Deku scrub also is nerfed. It just don't feel right. Project Restoration brings all of the things from the 64 version that we know should be there. There shouldn't be no reason they should be changed over into this version, along with further quality of life improvements. With a lot of quality of life improvements. So we literally got a mix of the 64 version and the 3DS version with a mod called Project Restoration, which you can set up there right at that link I dropped in the chat. When you have these things set up, this becomes the best way to play Majora's Mask, period. I have it here on the deck, running smooth, full screen, full resolution. And once we get dropped off of opponent here, I'll make a note on why we like Project Restoration. Reason number one. Remember, name of the game is quality of life improvements for everything we do. That's why emulation is wrong. Quality of life. And also preservation. We're trying to preserve these joints, but quality of life is key. Quality of life is key. Take a look in the upper right corner. So, as you see, we actually got everything set up for the resolution. Feels good. Feels really good. So now, as you see, we got all of our buttons set up to where we can press start. We can go into our items menu. We ain't got no items right now, but without having to actually go down to the bottom screen, which we can still do, we can actually stay on the top screen and not actually have to worry about the second screen at all in most cases. The Project Restoration makes this pretty much fully a single screen game where only if you know you got to take a look at the second screen for something in particular that you need, you don't have to. You also have your 1 and 2. You can set 4 items at one time. You just hold R1 and it swaps between what you got set on your touch buttons as actual physical buttons. So this is instantly better than the 64 version because instead of having the 3 C buttons as items, boom, you got 4 buttons that you can actually have something set to. You got 4 slots now, including any boots or out or the mask the mask switch outs are on the D-pad. All of it, quality of life. So when you get a mask, it's already set to a D-pad direction. You don't ever have to waste a slot on a mask or a transformation mask. You don't have to waste a slot on it. Quality of life. Big quality of life activity. Big quality of life. All running on the deck smooth. Dogs in here acting full. This is the most extended poop zoomies I ever seen. Ooh. All right. It's not gonna stop. It's not gonna save until we get all the way out. I'm gonna save that for later. So this is just a hint of advice. So when you get your deck, anybody in here that get the deck watching this in the future, when you get your deck and you use from 3DS, don't hit the Steam button and exit through here. This is gonna put you in a they're working on fixing this now, but you want to go up here and use your file. It's cool. All right. So as you see, we got that joint full screen. Yeah, man, put more pluses in the chat. We need more pluses. More pluses. All pluses. We plus on block today. That's what it is. But yeah, you just hit file, go down to exit. You actually want to manually exit from Citra 3DS yourself. You don't want to exit it through the actual menu in Steam. And that's just Citra. Everything else runs extremely smooth. Citra alone, that's the only one you got to worry about with that. And yeah, they're fixing that shit, so we ain't got to worry about that too much longer. Citronella. Candles? Crazy. But let's get into how to actually add those PC games that I have in here. So, see, I got a whole bunch of games in here. We got a whole bunch of stuff installed, a whole bunch of cool stuff installed, whole bunch. So, but we're gonna go to browse. Boom. Your home and your deck is gonna be your home on your deck. You feel me? You feel me? This is gonna be your spot. I personally, in the deck folder, created a games folder. So, as I showed you, No One Lives Forever, Renegade, Streets of Rage Remake, already dropped all of those in there. Boom, we hit all files right here for your file type. Find the exact EXE you need. So No One Lives Forever was a little weird. It was a little weird because it's an older game built on older architecture. It was built different, literally. But I've been dealing with No One Lives Forever. I've been modding it since the day it came home in that box. Since the day I brought that bitch home, I was modding it out the gate. Because we had maps, we had custom maps, we had a whole bunch of crazy cool stuff but no one lives forever. Taught me a lot about this. So you got to drop in your EXE. Once your EXE is dropped in, you're going to add it right in there. Actually, let me show that. Let me be a little bit more thorough. Once you select your executable file, it's going to come back in here, and you're going to check it and hit Add Selected Programs. And once you add it, it's going to pop up in here. I got them under Uncategorized, so I can see where my executables are. Boom, you hit it. Now you see you got it here. Right click on it. Make sure you go to your properties. Bow, it's going to come up right in your face. I'm going to always change. It's going to be a little black circle. So I got my picture set up here. Make sure you name them so you know what your files are, because it don't give you a preview. And you set up your shortcut icon, which is going to populate on the left side here. Compatibility. You're going to force the use of specific Steam Play compatibility tool, which is always going to be a version of Proton. They got experimental and all of these built in, but then you got GE Proton. So you see GE Proton. Proton is the compatibility layer that allows you to use Windows executables on Linux. That's how we're able to play these games with no problems. The engineering team that put this together, I kiss your feet. I don't know how they did it. When they talk about, oh, that nigga's a wizard. He a tech wizard. These are actual wizards. I don't know how it works. But I do know about Wine in that it's not an emulator. Wine is not an emulator. It's a compatibility layer. It's like you're literally adding compatibility into Linux for Windows programs. You're not emulating them. You're not like running it in a VM, even though you can build a Windows VM. Because everybody was like, oh, you can dual boot Windows on the deck. Why do I need to? You don't need to. When I got my favorite first person shooter, look at Kate Archer. Look at her mug. She right there chilling, vibing. We got Command and Conquer Renegade running, vibing. Remake. The whole squad vibing. Dr. Zan ain't even looking at you, motherfucker. That right there is a red delicious apple that young Eddie is chomping on due to the ease of Proton. Let's go a step deeper. Down in your lower left, you got your quote-unquote start menu. This is where all your applications are at. Discover. Your Discover store is basically your app store. Everything that you might need, that you won't need, that you might need while you wanting it, is right in here. There's a program called GE. Hold on, actually, let's do it like this. I think they just got it so you can just, oh, damn, I can't even type. This keyboard is small, my hands are big. Okay, this is the program that you want. I'm gonna clip this because this is important. This is probably the most important thing that drove me to the motherland. Proton Up Qt. Because it is a Qt. Let's start there. It's very attractive. Sexy, if you will. This has a compatibility version of Proton that's under GE. I can't think of my man's name, but it's based off of his name. Is it in here? His name's not in here, but GE is what is going to be your compatibility for these games. Once you download and install the Flatpak from the Discover page, you're going to pop into here, hit Add Version. Bow. Compatibility tool, Proton GE. So 7.17 is the latest. That's the latest that we on right now. You install it, bow. You got GE Proton. Then you just make sure that that's locked in there. You close it out. Right click on what you want. We're going to do Renegade so we can show a different one. Shortcut. I already got it set up. Compatibility. Always check that box. Should be right there waiting for you, baby. You make sure that that's on net. Now, you can always test it and see if it works better with another one. It won't. GE Proton 7. And this is not just for non-Steam games. So you got your actual legit Steam library. Some of these might run better under the compatibility of this. So we got Max Payne 2. It ain't even using compatibility, and that's running smooth as butter melting on flapjacks in the middle of the sun in the middle of the desert. But I'm talking melting, smooth, just scrumptious. Running smooth. 60 locked. Now, as you see, I got Deathloop and Elden Ring installed. That's from my Steam library. Yes, I'm skipping over Final Fantasy VII Remake right now because that's a different story. And I'm going to need time to go into that because that's some gangster shit. But Deathloop runs smooth. I got it locked at 40 frames per second. Everything on medium to low settings. But when you play it on the screen, it looks sexy as hell. Elden Ring. Medium to low. I don't think it's using Proton. Actually, let's force it and see what it does with that. That might actually run better with Proton. That might run better with Proton on God. I just thought about that. Is that a business? No, I'm about to say there ain't no business. But the simple fact we got Deathloop and Elden Ring, which are new games, Jack. These are new games. Yeah, Deathloop was up for Gotti last year. And it's running smooth on this portable device. Let's get into Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't smoke no more at all, so I need some gum. I bought Final Fantasy VII Remake twice. I bought it first on PlayStation 4. No, bro. Anything that I've encountered that's been weird has dead ass been my fault. Any little issues or hiccups that I've encountered have not only been fixed, they have been my fault. Me moving too fast, dragging shit around, doing too much too fast. Slowing down, being patient, reading everything. Because it is a different operating system. It is not Windows. So it's like you still gotta take your time with it. I got everything I need. I understand now fully. They have certain areas of the hard drive blocked off because you can't do nothing with it. Like there's nothing in those folders that you need to get access to. You got access to your system files, but they got certain things locked off. So let's say you mess up something with Steam, you can just fix Steam and it won't touch the operating system because nothing's wrong with the operating system because it's perfect. I say that to say this. Final Fantasy VII Remake should not be running as smooth as it does on this system. Just right click it. See we in here. Compatibility. We on Proton. You already know what it is. Just doing that for parity's sake. Now let's go back into our games folder. File. Integrate. I got the game from Epic Store, bought it, but I never installed Epic Store after I installed it. I uninstalled everything. Got the crack for Final Fantasy VII because I don't want to deal with the Epic Store. I don't want to deal with nothing online. Bought the game, got the crack so I can go offline with it. I don't want to deal with it. So now that we got fully offline copy, backed up the location of the game itself. Literally, same thing I just did with Renegade. I did with Final Fantasy VII first. We're not going to run it here. We're going to go hop back over to gaming mode. Let me disable this so it'll transition over smoother. There hasn't been a single issue that A, hasn't been fixed. B, they've been dropping updates like every 2 to 3 days for the console, adding functionality. One thing I didn't even say this whole time, they added in performance profiles yesterday. So now, instead of going into a game and having to change your profile up for the game to run like locked at 40, you can actually create a profile. So whenever you go back into the game, it'll remember that profile and just automatically switch back to it. So you don't have to do any further setup. Once your game's set up, it's set up. Took all of the textures and decreased them down to about maybe 20% resolution. Yeah, see? Yeah, we're good now. Boom. And like I said, we should still have that profile set up. So what a soundtrack. Yeah, there we go. Now this is 100% resolution, so it's 100% 720p. Where's my right screen? Is it outside of the resolution? Yeah. It's being stupid. There we go. So, yep. So it's using its own profile, which is locked at 40. Let's go ahead and crank that up so it sharpens up the resolution. Boom. Perfection. So, yep, we got this on the right side here. That increases the sharpness of everything, so that'll make everything look sharper, which it does by default. But we literally got Final Fantasy VII Remake running at a locked 40. We got texture on high. Now I might still run up and down. Like I said, it's a newer game. What do you think?
Not bad. No more playing nice.
No love.
Nothing to it.
Not a damn thing.
Going all out. I'm ending this. Screw you. It's over. It's here.
Choose a limit on this boy. Who's furthest in the back?
Nothing personal.
That way we catch everybody in the wind. We up.
It's over.
It's nothing. I feel like 9 has the best like actual fantasy aspect of it. 7 has the most memorable characters in Final Fantasy history.
Here we go. Neutralize.
7 has the best Cid. Oh shit, I need to heal. 7 got the best Cid. Easy.
Not looking good.
Let's end this.
Let's dance, asshole. Let's finish this.
But I love the atmosphere of 9 so much.
Know your limits.
But yeah, the one thing that that 7 got over everybody, the music. I'm sorry, there is the music of 7 wins. Period. In gaming generalism, and just 7 soundtrack in areas when you ain't even doing nothing. It's godlike. And there's no reason for it to be.
End of the life, punk. I'm gonna enjoy this.
The cutscenes were capped at 30. And then we go back in the gameplay shit, we lock them right back and forth.
No more waiting. See ya. This is gonna hurt.
Let them get me. It's okay. But let's see if it'll let me just save. So I'm playing on hard mode. I was able to transfer my save from the PS4. Had to decrypt it and transfer it. It was fucking trippy. Yeah, I got like I'm a monster. My character's a fucking monster. I got all my shit over. The only mods we got active are cosmetic. So I got, as you see, everything's purple instead of blue in the menu for anyone that's played it. I got the Final Fantasy VII actual graphics for the menu for the character portraits. Well, they're telling me it's time to switch up to work. Okay. You all right? But it's enough of 7.